On the night Elias Vorn went to sleep alone, the station lights dimmed to artificial dusk, and the hum of the orbital ring settled into a lullaby of distant thunder. He lay on a narrow cot in the human quarter of Concord Station, boots neatly aligned beneath it, dog tags resting on his chest like a habit he could not break. The war with the Ketheri sovereignty had ended 3 weeks earlier, not with triumph but with exhaustion, treaties signed in airless halls by people who had never bled in vacuum. Elias had bled enough for a lifetime. He closed his eyes thinking of earth storms, of rain that fell without alarms. Sleep came like a weighted blanket. When he woke, the air was warm and fragrant, heavy with minerals and something floral he could not name. The ceiling above him was not the station's dull alloy, but a living vault of crystal veins that pulsed with soft bioluminescence. His hand moved instinctively toward the knife he slept with. It wasn't there. Neither were his dog tags. Elias sat up. The bed beneath him was wide, grown rather than built, its surface yielding and responsive like muscle under silk. Beyond the chamber stretched a hall of obsidian glass, walls etched with symbols that glowed when he looked at them, as if recognizing his attention. "Easy," he muttered, voice echoing strangely. A presence stirred the air. Footsteps, measured, unhurried, approached. Elias rose, shoulders squared, every sense sharpened by the Deathworld instincts that had kept humanity alive across hostile stars. She entered without ceremony. The alien sovereign of the Ketheri was taller than any human, her form a blend of elegance and controlled power. Her skin shimmered like dark pearl, and a crown of living crystal arced from her temples, faintly humming. Her eyes, 3 of them, set in a triangular symmetry, fixed on him with unsettling focus. "Elias Vorn," she said, his name shaped perfectly by a voice that resonated in his bones. "You wake within the sanctum of claim." Every training reflex screamed trap. "I didn't consent to be brought here." "No," the sovereign replied calmly. "You survived." That gave him pause. She gestured, and the hall expanded, revealing vistas of a world beneath a violet sky. Cities rose like coral reefs, organic towers interwoven with energy streams. This was no battlefield. This was the heart of an empire. "You are here," she continued, "because our laws demand balance." Elias remembered the final engagement over Keth Prime. Human Marines had been outnumbered, pinned against a collapsing shield line. He had seen the Sovereign's flagship crippled, its escort torn apart. He had also seen a chance, a suicidal breach maneuver that let him and his squad reach the command nexus. They hadn't fired. They'd stabilized the core, preventing a cascade that would have annihilated the planet below. "You saved my people," the Sovereign said, as if reading his thoughts. "Not for reward. Not for mercy. You acted because extinction offended you." He swallowed. "I acted because killing civilians is wrong." A ripple of light passed through her crown. On Kether, such thinking marks a ruler. The middle days of Elias's captivity, if it could be called that, unfolded in layers. He was given freedom within the inner city, escorted by silent sentinels who watched but never interfered. Everywhere he went, Ketheri paused, their bioluminescent markings dimming in deference. Whispers followed him like wind through tall grass. He learned their history from crystalline archives and living historians who spoke in harmonic tones. The Ketheri believed sovereignty was not inherited but claimed, recognized by the world itself when an individual embodied survival, sacrifice, and restraint. Their past rulers had risen from disaster, from choices that preserved life at personal cost. "You meet all three," the sovereign told him as they walked along a sky bridge over glowing seas. "The planet responded when you crossed its threshold. That has not happened in 6 centuries. "I'm human," Elias said. "Your people fought us for decades." "We fought because we feared you," she replied. "Deathworlders adapt too quickly. We believed you would one day consume us. And now, she said softly, we believe you may protect us." The revelation did not come all at once, but in fragments. He learned the sovereign's name, Valeth, and the burden she carried. Her reign had begun with the war, and many among the high castes blamed her for near annihilation. Tradition demanded a counterbalance, a co-sovereign chosen by the world itself. A claim. The ceremony was held at the planet's core nexus, a chamber where gravity softened and the air shimmered with raw energy. Elias stood alone at its center, stripped of armor, wearing a simple band of woven crystal around his wrist. Valeth faced him across the platform, her expression unreadable. "You may refuse," she said. "The claim binds for life. You will be Ketheri as much as human. And if I refuse, then our world must find another balance. It may not survive the attempt." Elias thought of Concord Station's narrow cot, of dog tags and orders and wars that ended without healing anything. He thought of earth storms and how life endured them. "I never wanted a throne," he said. "Neither did I," Valeth replied. "That is why we stand here." When he accepted, the world answered. Light surged up from the nexus, threading through his veins like fire that did not burn. Memories not his own brushed his mind. Ancient migrations, songs sung to stars, the ache of survival etched into a people's bones. He did not lose himself. He expanded. The ending was not a coronation, but an awakening. In the weeks that followed, Elias learned to navigate Ketheri politics, to speak with councils who eyed him with suspicion and awe. He made mistakes. He listened more than he spoke. When disputes arose, he asked one question: who survives this choice? Valeth watched him with something that grew beyond assessment. Partnership, perhaps. Respect, certainly. On quiet nights, they stood together on the palace terraces, gazing at the living lights of the city. "You went to sleep alone," she said once, echoing his first bewildered moments. "Do you regret waking here?" He considered the weight of what he had become. A bridge between species. A symbol some would hate. A guardian he had never trained to be. "No," Elias said at last. "But I'll never forget where I came from." "Good," Valeth replied. "Nor should you. The claim chose you because you remember." Years later, when the galaxy spoke of the Ketheri Renaissance and the unexpected peace brokered by a Deathworld soldier turned co-sovereign, legends grew wild and contradictory. Some said he had been abducted. Others claimed he had conquered from within. The truth was simpler. He went to sleep alone. And Awoke claimed, not by power or conquest, but by a world that recognized a survivor when it saw one.